Hutton Orbital Radio. This is not the station you're looking for. Hutton Orbital. They don't make 'em like this anymore. Health and safety won't let us.
Stark lighting illuminates the corridors, and the stench of death is in the air. Foul creatures with a sinister bearing cower from the relentless glare and cover their heads as they scurry from one pool of shadow to the next. All along the upper rotunda their moans and sobs can be heard. A small, huddled, motley assemblage of creatures lurch and stagger along until they come to the door of Studio 6. One of them reaches out to a keypad, which lights up on touch, eliciting a strangled hissing from the group. On the third attempt, the door opens, and the malodorous mass of misshapen humanity scuttles inside. They shamble their way to various points around the room and slump into seats. A cheery message on all of the room screens reads, "Welcome back, radio crew. Today is the first show of 3311. A pale, claw-like hand emerges from under a blanket, clicks a button, and says,
"Our mics are live!" Welcome, welcome, welcome to the first show of the new year. I'm Rudolph Hucker, and the Christmas spirit hasn't quite left my system yet.
I'm Wilma Fingerdew, and I've still got the meat sweat.
I'm Mia Harkness, and I'm still in North Britain time, so I'm still on holiday.
I'm Norma Snookers, and I'm crocheting myself a blanket to hibernate under.
I'm Sandy Crevice, and I am so stuffed full of Christmas sausage.
Well, I suppose there's nothing for it. Let's get the headlines done. When is an expansion not an expansion? When it's a girthening.
Fireworks don't work at Reed Court, as Dan Ham goes all PTFE.
Generous gifter or ginchy grifter? Course, she's pulled a fast one.
Federal Parliament instaged Senegiata.
And Hutton systems are also not expanding in this week's BGS bit.
Hutton Orbital's logistics division has flagged a peculiar development in the wake of the festive season. Reports indicate a significant belt surge throughout the galaxy. Eager miners, feeling that in a post-Thargoid universe that their time had come and their palladium, void opals and of course Bertrandite locating days were heading back to the mining millions heyday, were disappointed. On arrival with their first load of paynite, they discovered that prices were normal. Demand was about average, and there was, on the face of it, nothing to the rumour. That was until they stepped into the Hutton mess hall and saw a post-dinner suit relaxation routine being enjoyed by a number of truckers, for whom the old adage, eyes bigger than their stomach, was possibly not true. With a number of rather expansive adjectives being used on the menu this year to describe quite how big a portion the average Hutton trucker was looking forward to, it became rapidly evident that your average Maverick suit was just not designed for the kind of ectomorph to endomorph adjustment your average trucker undergoes at this time of year. Tailors across Hutton control systems report a run on reinforced mag belts and adaptive suspenders. Several manufacturers of zero-G flight suits have introduced new lines featuring stretch nanofabrics capable of accommodating what one insider described as dynamic expansions. Some particularly ambitious designers have marketed suits with integrated anti-grav braces to counteract strain, though early reviews suggest they may inadvertently cause a bouncy castle effect in low-G environments. The elasticated solutions have also reached cockpit outfitting. With demand for wider pilot seats at an all-time high, certain shipyards now offer XXXXL class economic or even ergonomic rigs and optional Type 10 extra super heavy seating modules, complete with adjustable armrests and built-in dip trays. The cumulative increase in mass has raised concerns about the delicate balance of Hutton Orbital itself. A senior engineer noted that while individual gains are negligible, the aggregate weight of returning pilots has placed unprecedented strain on the station's stabilisation thrusters.
There is a very real danger,
they explained,
that if this trend continues, Hutton Orbital may find itself nudged into a slightly lower orbit. That would wreak havoc on docking routines, not to mention sending the gin distillery into an unplanned barrel roll.
Lael Wolf has reportedly convened an emergency meeting to assess the situation. Preliminary solutions include ejecting ballast modules or temporarily relocating the station's heaviest patrons to nearby surface settlements. The demand for larger attire and cockpit modifications has created unexpected opportunity for enterprising traders. Bulk shipments of stretch nanofabric, reinforced seating frames and multi-point restraint systems are flooding markets. Meanwhile, several commanders have taken to installing uprated cargo bays in their trousers to manage both girth and snacks. A spokesperson for the League of Hutton Chefs and Sommeliers noted,
"While we take no responsibility for the festive consumption that has driven this surge, we are introducing low-calorie variants, though we can't guarantee they will taste any less like singed rocket fuel."
Hutton administration has introduced several initiatives aimed at curbing the festive aftermath. Chief among these is Operation Centauri Slim, a series of zero-G aerobics classes and asteroid-chasing challenges designed to encourage healthier habits. Participation is optional, though the newly reinforced gantries in the gymnasium suggest otherwise. On a more serious note, engineers continue to monitor the station systems for any lasting effects, with contingency plans in place to prevent mass-induced orbital drift.
The New Year's celebrations at Le Sourd-du-Danham station in Reedquat spiralled into chaos after an ambitious fireworks display set to the 1812 overture was misinterpreted as the beginning of a Thargoid assault. Pilots suffering from post-Thargoid fright experience, also known as PTFE, responded instinctively, unleashing mayhem both inside and outside the station. Fireworks began spectacularly, with bursts of green and blue light spiralling over the station. However, as the display reached its climax, the simulated explosions and light patterns caused panic among pilots, many of whom were already on edge.
"I was queuing for gin refills when I heard the explosions,"
said one witness.
"I grabbed my reb lock and shouted, 'Caustic missiles incoming!' Next thing I knew, someone's trying to open the docking bay doors to get a better angle on the station's hearts."
By 18 minutes past midnight, a full-blown skirmish had erupted. Ships scrambled from the docks, targeting the station's infrastructure in an effort to overload the heat vents and expose the imagined Thargoid threat. The station's fleet of yellow BP service vehicles bore the brunt of the confusion and the artillery fire. The mayhem spilled into the station's concourse, where a donut outlet became an unlikely casualty. The shop's neon logo, a cheerful, glowing blue and sprinkle-covered toroidal masterpiece, was immediately declared too Thargoidy by panicked pilots. One eyewitness recounted the moment.
Someone screamed, "Caustic rings!" and within seconds the shop was ablaze. The donuts didn't stand a chance.
The resulting inferno melted the delicious sugar-coated and suitably sprinkled sweet treats into a caramelized puddle. A spokesperson for Ring of Fire issued a statement.
We understand tensions are high, but it's heartbreaking to think your stinky rings could be mistaken for alien weaponry. We'll be back, and we'll make our logo less ringy, and with more raspberry filling.
Amid the confusion, Barry from Logistics, dressed as the Grim Reaper for a New Year's costume contest, found himself in the line of fire. His dark cloak and ominous demeanour, while perfectly suited for the occasion, triggered panic when someone shouted,
Oh my stars! It's a scythe!
PTFE sufferers reacted immediately, opening fire without a second thought. Several others attempted to high wake away from the boulevard, a strategy that, given the absence of ships, proved about as effective as a game of fuzzy duck at an AA meeting. Barry survived the incident unscathed, though his scythe now glows faintly and hums ominously, earning it a place as a contender for Most Cursed Item of 3311. Station authorities managed to quell the chaos by approximately 1830 Galactic Standard Time, after disabling the remaining fireworks and issuing a station-wide announcement that there was no Thargoid activity. Galen Boom, Dan Ham's sister's spokesperson, later addressed the incident.
The display was meant to usher in a joyful new year, with lots of old acquaintance and not in any way designed to mimic intergalactic interspecies intense xeno-warfare. Next year we will focus on less triggering light show, perhaps one involving sparkles, soft pastels and noises.
Or maybe just hire some smug twat with a piano to record something in autumn and put that out instead. In response to the incident, local medical centres have expanded their PTFE treatment programs, including courses on distinguishing festive lighting from xenoaggression. Donations are being collected to replace the station's destroyed yellow BP cars, and Ring of Fire has announced plans to rebuild with a more geometrically neutral logo. Barry, meanwhile, has retired from costume contests, stating,
The donuts are gone, the gin is gone, and I've been mistaken for an alien menace. Happy New Year, I guess.
What began as a heartwarming holiday tradition has taken a darker turn, as Sandra Cause, the celebrated organiser of the annual festive event Sandra's Workshop, faces accusations of a decidedly less charitable nature. High-profile break-ins targeting the accommodation blocks of event participants have led some to suspect that Cause herself may be behind the crimes, using her goodwill enterprise as a cover for a galactic crime syndicate. For years, Sandra's Workshop has been a beacon of festive joy. Pilots flock to her aid, where they craft customised modules in a spirit of camaraderie and holiday cheer. However, this year's event has been overshadowed by a string of burglaries at the accommodations of those who signed up for the deliveries on behalf of her workshop. Victims report returning from their delivery sessions to find empty quarters, stripped of valuables and, most alarmingly, prized ship modules.
I went to her workshop to add some festive flair to the day of a few needy nippers,
said Commander Brightspark.
By the time I got back, my Guardian FSD booster was gone, my plasma accelerator was missing, and someone had eaten all the biscuits I left on the counter. I mean, who does that?
Initial theories suggested Sandra was on the face of it a benevolent cross between Mother Claus, Robin Hood, and those funeral firms that give you a free pen just for calling them, redistributing cheer during the festive season. However, investigators now believe the operation to be far more sinister, with mounting evidence linking Sandra Claus herself to the thefts.
She knows exactly where and when her participants are,
said a representative of Pilots Federation Security Division.
If you wanted to stage the perfect heist, having your victims enthusiastically sign up and tell you when they'll be out of the house is a great start.
A forensic team examining one of the break-in sites uncovered a calling card left behind. A candy cane snapped in two. While some have dismissed this as a coincidence, others point out that the broken candy cane matches the logo of the Corps Camorri, a shadowy criminal syndicate long suspected of operating within the bubble. Not all pilots are taking the allegations lying down. A self-organised vigilante group calling themselves the Workshop Watchdogs has formed to monitor accommodation blocks during workshop sessions. Their motto, "Craft now, thief later," highlights their commitment to protecting their fellow commandments. Meanwhile, local station authorities are advising pilots to secure their ship modules in high-security hangars, or even store them in an alternative systems while attending the workshop. Corps vehemently denied the accusations, describing them as
a Grinch-like attempt to tarnish the holiday spirit.
In a carefully worded statement, she said,
"The workshop is about bringing people together and sharing the joy of craftsmanship. These baseless accusations are the work of cynics who can't handle a little festive cheer."
However, when asked directly about her potential connections to the Corps Camorri, she ended the interview abruptly, citing
an urgent pudding-related emergency.
Whether or not Sandra Claus is truly the mastermind behind the break-ins remains unproven, but the incidents have cast a shadow over the holiday festivities. Pilots are urged to take precautions, lock their accommodation doors, and maybe rethink leaving rare modules lying around. As one investigator dryly remarked,
"If it looks like a candy cane and it steals like a candy cane, maybe it's time we stop calling it festive cheer and start calling it organized crime."
The halls of the Federation Parliament have always been a stage for debate, but recent events have seen them take on an air of a full-blown farce. With President Felicia Winters striving to chart a steady course, Vice President Jerome Archer embroiled in controversy, the galaxy's largest democracy appears to have traded governance for theatrics. Though he officially left office some time ago, former President Zachary Hudson has made an unexpected and highly theatrical reappearance. Rumours began swirling after a Parliament session was interrupted by a figure dressed in a floral gown, oversized wig and garish makeup. Initially dismissed as a misguided attempt at levity from a backbench politician, the Dame was later identified as none other than Hudson himself, or herself. Witnesses claim Hudson adopted the persona to attend the session incognito.
"It was the voice what gave him away,"
said one onlooker.
"He started heckling Winters with lines like, 'Oh no you won't,' and the accent slipped. Next thing we knew, the gallery was shouting, 'It's behind you!'"
Hudson's motivations remain unclear, though analysts speculate that, as with all washed-up has-beens, the only way to stay relevant is a few weeks at the Palladium once a year, and appearances on "I'm a former president, get me out of here." The scene reached peak absurdity when Winters, mid-speech, reportedly gestured to Hudson and quipped,
"He's been at the magic beans again. Yet again, Hudson Fee-Fi-Fo fumbles his way back into politics."
This led to the arrival of an aide dressed in an ill-fitting bear costume, who theatrically chased Hudson out of the chamber to the sounds of widespread laughter and a smattering of boos. The incident was quickly immortalised in Parliament law, with some claiming it marked the first productive session in months. Meanwhile, Vice President Jerome Archer's attempts to defend his controversial surveillance policies have done little to endear him to the public, or his peers. During a recent press briefing, his assurances that the measures protect the freedoms of federal citizens were met with cries of "Boo! Hiss!" from both protesters and assembled journalists. Attempts to win back the crowd by accusing Winters of naivety only made matters worse, as the president responded by leading the gallery in a resounding chorus of "Oh no, she isn't!" Archer's aides are reportedly scrambling to salvage his reputation, though insiders admit the damage may have already been done. Amidst the chaos, Felicia Winters has sought to position herself as the voice of stability. However, her efforts have been overshadowed by the theatrical antics surrounding her. During one recent speech, an audience member, dressed as a pumpkin, inexplicably rolled into the Parliament, prompting Winters to sigh and audibly quip,
This really is turning into a farce.
Her policy proposals, which include economic reforms and renewed diplomatic efforts, have been largely overshadowed by the antics of her rivals. Nevertheless, she remains steadfast, stating,
Someone has to keep the lights on in this theatre.
Critics warn that the Federation risks becoming a galactic laughingstock if its leadership continues down this path. While political theatrics are not uncommon, the sheer scale of the pantomime has drawn comparisons to amateur dramatics gone wrong. Imperial commentators have mocked the spectacle as entirely in keeping with federal inefficiency, while Alliance representatives have diplomatically declined to comment, though several were reportedly overheard humming,
There's no business like show business.
As the Federation limps away from the last election cycle, its leaders face a choice: continue the performance, or focus on the serious business of governance. Until then, it seems the Parliament's motto may as well be,
"Oh yes, we can't." Welcome to this week's Hutton BGS bit, where we sneak into the BGS fridge, steal all the leftovers and make a gravy, Black Forest, 4 cheese, ham, turkey, cranberry, nut roast, stollen, steak, pie, roast potato, shortbread, brandy and sprout sandwich. Well, along with about 500 truckers, Hutton systems are still on expansion this week. If you're looking for a boom, then there are plenty. Epsilon Eridani, Jaws Pantazis, Kokari, Wolf 359, Alpha Centauri, Noe, Hycol, LHS 450, Lighton 145-141, Narensis, PSPF LF2, Stein 2051, Treppin, Wolf 124, Wolf 1481, Wolf 25, Wolf 562, 36 Ophiuchi, and Epsilon Indy. That is 19 systems. 36 Ophiuchi is also experiencing infrastructure failure, and there's a bit of civil unrest in Epsilon Indy too. Apart from that, it's all quiet this week. But what does it all mean? Well, if you want to truck it, then could we suggest that you truck food machinery into 36 Ophiuchi to take advantage of the boom while helping out with the infrastructure failure? I would advise heading for one of the surface bases though, as the stations are a wee bit far out. If you want to shoot it, then get yourself over to Epsilon Indy and start raking in those bounties. And that's it for this week's BGS bit.
Oh, you survived it.
Seamless.
I've got some advice, by the way, for anybody. If you've just got yourself some new glasses, as was mentioned in the last couple of shows, and your son brings you in a lovely warm mug of green tea, you drink the green tea and then realise your glasses have just steamed up and you can't see the decks in front of you. So you've basically got to guess which button to push. So
yeah, it's probably still better than taking the glasses off though.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, the double vision is. I'm trying to work out whether that was the leftovers of the gin from Christmas and New Year, or it's actually my eyesight. But right. Well, look, welcome back. Welcome to 3311, everybody.
I know.
3311. My goodness, where does it all go? Well, it went into my waistline mostly. But...
Yeah, I was going to say to the waist, the hips, and the bum.
Oh, yeah. So, a Merry Christmas to everybody. For those of you that didn't join us for our Boxing Day live stream because they were celebrating their birthday. Poor excuses.
Ooh, hiss.
Yeah, we'll sing for you later. Yeah.
Thank you.
But for those of you that didn't manage it, Commander Vulkarius, are you there? Hello. You had a very important role. In fact, a couple of very important roles during our live stream. Obviously,
I had some. Yeah. I had a few roles. I had a few pictures.
Did you have any important strafes?
Oh, you took my joke. I was about to say I had a few pictures, a few yours.
Yeah.
You could say he's stolen your line there.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were going to go down the food route.
Yes.
Yeah, a few very important rolls, some pies, bit of pastry.
Yeah. Well, Vulkarius was. I mean, I'm assuming you might be talking about this later, or is this okay to talk about now?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
Well, I mean, we are petitioning.
You could just do Vulkarius' picks. There's no space news and no live stream.
I just want to say, goodness me, we have Commander Palantir in the chat.
We do not.
We're talking about biscuits already. I mean, yes. Hello, Palantir. Yeah. So yes, you're petitioning the Pilots Federation to have a new ship kit fitted to your Python Mark II, aren't you? The cow catcher, the big scoop for the front.
That would have helped just a little bit. I was so tempted to do the thing where you hit the boost and drop the scoop or gear, and hopefully don't speed while the shieldless novice Type 9 in front of you gets pushed out of the toast rack. I thought that would be a bad idea.
Yeah, because it was you and commanders.
Inner Bushman did a bit as well.
Inner Bushman, yes. Because Flossy couldn't get out of the station because everybody was in the way, or get into the station at one point and then out again afterwards. So we actually had to manoeuvre all of the other ships out the way using yours before we could actually go to a combat zone. So we had about 20 minutes of the stream watching you and Inner Bushman shovel ships out the way. Oh no, there's an orca in the way now. Oh, it's a beluga. Yeah, and eventually you managed to get us out.
Episode of Dockers.
But then you took it out on some of the ships over at the combat zone. As I recall, there was a cartwheeling cobra at one point careening across the battle zone. Yes.
So I had the brilliant idea of fitting missiles. I realised afterwards you actually can kill those defences. But in the meantime, I kind of took down some shields and maybe used a few seekers on maybe a few drives and positioned them over the over the settlement you were
like some galactic Father Christmas in his sleigh over the combat zone, dropping presents on the heads of all of the combateers below. Yes, whether they were explosive munitions or bits of ship, we were dodging them all anyway. But no, good fun was had on that one. Commander Flossy was, as usual, exceptional without her rocket launcher, equipped only with a pan because you were in the wrong suit. I think it was Poppy, wasn't it, that came along, not Flossy.
Oh yeah, it was on that. Yeah, that's right.
Yes, and Litho, I think you were there, covering fire.
Oh yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The Point Alpha, the number of miles we ran between those points. It's Point Alpha. No, it's Point Delta.
We certainly got our step count in.
Definitely, and of course, Amelia, you missed out. You were preparing for your Christmas overindulgence or recovering from.
Yeah, I was stuffing my face.
It's right. You were telling us about your feast earlier, and basically you broke out the big plates. I mean, you know it's a good feast when you break out the big plates.
We have special plates at Christmas, twice the size of normal plates. They're only broken out at Christmas.
Nom 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 nom.
Yes.
And just for that, we've got a reprise of one of the rares later from you. I think it's the Beast Feast possibly that you're going to tell us all about later. But it was good fun. So everybody had a reasonable Christmas, overindulged, and did all the usual. Did anybody get any good prizes from their nearest and dearest?
I did send you a picture of one of my presents. Do you remember it? There was a cushion covered with the Hutton pants on it.
Oh, yes, I did. Yes.
It was actually a cushion and a cushion covered with the Hutton pants emblazoned across it.
So you can lie your face on the Hutton logo on the Hutton pants.
I can rest my face against a facsimile of the Hutton pants.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, that was from Galactic Midden.
He's a good egg, is the Galactic Midden.
Yes.
Yeah. But that sounds spectacular. How about Vulkarius? Were you given some particularly conundrum-filled Christmas cracker jokes?
No, there were no jokes. None of the terrible jokes this time. Nobody likes those. But I do have a book of the hardest Sudokus ever. So,
which you're going to translate into a 3D puzzle sometime in the next couple of weeks.
Is that the ones? Is that the ones that are just blank? Actually, it'd probably be easier if they were blank.
You need minimum 17. 17 givens. That said, that's not to say there aren't easy puzzles with 17 and hard puzzles with 30.
Yeah, I was going to guess. So they give you, so they give you 16 then.
No,
that makes it really hard.
Well, it breaks the. There's a little bit of a contract between the setter and the solver, where the setter isn't allowed to give you one that has 2 solutions or more. So
yeah.
So the setter's not allowed to give you one, especially not if it's a hard one. But okay, that's understood. Okay.
Not at Christmas. We've all eaten far too much.
Yeah, you notice who was the first to laugh there?
The filthy-minded Commander Flossy, yes.
Yes. A mind like a Welsh railway, one track and dirty.
Oh, yes. Dirtier than the, Isle of Wight ferry. Right, so how about Litho? Did you get a Toulouse sausage gift wrapped for your Christmas presents from Mrs. Litho?
Oui, I certainly did.
You certainly did?
Yeah, we had a very delicious Christmas filled with too much food and too much wine and that kind of thing. So yeah, it's been good.
That sounds all right. And how about Flossy? Mm-hmm. Did you go for Christmas pub?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Or New Year pub?
Just Christmas. We went on New Year's Day as well, but it was obviously close Christmas night or at lunchtime.
Well, full of good cheer, your local pub at the best of times, let alone at Christmas.
It is, yes. It's always a good place to go.
Oh yes. Well, I managed to fly a spaceship. It was a wireframe spaceship. I was a very, very, very lucky boy. One of those the Spectrum things turned up.
Were you using vintage flight systems?
Vintage flight systems turned up, along with a little controller. One of those old sort of, the one with a stick with a knob on the top of it and 2 buttons, proper HOTAS stuff. This, 2 buttons and a stick. And then I realised that. Docking is difficult, especially when you've had a couple of glasses of port. And so I'm currently going between, hence why Reedquat was mentioned, between I think Reedquat and Lave and Deso at the moment. I thought I'm not going to leave the little bubble around Lave. I'm just going to do a little bit of trading till I can get a docking computer, because I really can't be bothered to this at my grand old age.
I think you'll find your problem is that you drank too much port. You should have had some starboard with it as well.
I should have had some starboard. Oh, yes. Yeah. So I've been playing the Spectrum version of Elite from back in the day, and I've come to the conclusion it's not as good as the BBC Micro Edition. I know that's controversial for Spectrum lovers out there, and I do still like it, but it's not as good as the BBC version, because the Spectrum version, you fire your lasers and it goes beep, beep, and you dock and it goes beep, and an alien a Thargoid shoots you and it goes beep. There's none of the cool noise. That's what it is. The soundscape is not as good. But other than that, been bumbling around the place. Talking about bumbling around the place, have we got any space news this week? I don't see anything in the script.
No.
We might have to ad-lib. Space news.
Not a lot has happened.
All right. Are they still stuck?
Yes.
Okay.
Until April now?
Until April. And didn't we fire something into the heart of the sun?
Parker Solar Probe got its feet a bit hot.
The Parker Solar Probe
closest approach.
Yes, they're trying to work out why the surface of the sun is so hot. I mean, I've got a few hints on this one. Like it's a big balling, a big burning ball of gas, but you know.
The big nuclear processing constantly, perhaps. But.
No, but the outside's too hot compared to the inside.
But the problem is that the surface of the sun, the bit that you can see as the surface, is about 4,000-5,000 degrees, whereas a bit further out from the sun, the bit that you can't see is a couple of million degrees.
Yeah.
Well, I've got a question. If that's the temperature, why is the spaceship only designed to last up to temperatures of 1,800 degrees Fahrenheit, which is the night shift measurement, or 982 degrees C, which is the rest of the world? I don't understand how it did it. Was it very quick?
Well, it's pretty flipping quick, yeah. It's the fastest ever man-made object, ever, anywhere, at any time.
It's got to get in and out before it overheats.
Yeah,
right.
But the thing is that that particular area of the coronosphere of the sun, which is at the millions of degrees, is it's a bit sparse. Like it's roughly about as hard a vacuum as you can pull in any lab on Earth. So whilst the occasional atoms in it might be moving at high speed because they're really, really hot, there's so few of them that they don't actually transfer any thermal energy into the solar probe.
Right, okay, so it just looks hot, it isn't hot. It's a bit like when you're taking your Christmas food out of the oven and you momentarily sort of brush your hand against the dish and it doesn't hurt for a few seconds. And then there's screaming.
If you touch it...
Basically, yeah.
If you touch it, it's hot, but it's really hard to touch it because it's all over. It's so far spread out.
And also, on Things Amelia Missed, Space Things Amelia Missed, there's one already happened, Amelia, and you missed it.
What's that? I mean, we could make this into a section of the show, you know.
What, space stuff Amelia missed? Yes.
God, yeah.
Well, Amelia, you missed the first of this year's Northern Lights across Europe.
When was that?
It
The
was a day when it was cloudy.
Yeah, yesterday.
Yeah. It was pouring the rain and cloudy here yesterday.
Yeah.
It was the same here.
Oh,
it was nice today, though. Right, so that was our space news that wasn't.
I've got one.
Oh, you got one. Go on then.
I've just seen it. It's just come up on Facebook, so I don't know how recent it is. It says, Asteroid 33 Olyhymnia may contain elements outside the periodic table. Saying the asteroid is so dense, physicists say it can contain elements not yet seen on Earth. That's all I have.
Oh, right, yeah, the super dense elements one. Yeah, I saw that one as well. Because also, osmium is the densest one that we can regularly make, or it sort of exists without it being a transient or temporary thing. But they think there's something heavier than osmium actually out there inside the hearts of some of these, objects.
Yeah. So there we go.
So we might have to update our spaceships to take heavy stuff, man. Right. Well, that's that bit. Vulkarius, do you have a bit for us this week? I mean, there aren't any there are Thargoids. They're all hiding somewhere. Pleiades, aren't they, still? Do you have a bit?
Probably, you know what? I probably should have actually. So, yes, and now that I think about it, I probably really should have mentioned the places where you actually can find them for real. But
right. Well, shall I play your theme tune?
If you want to, it's not actually Thargoidy in nature.
So if I start your theme tune and then fade it, yeah?
As you like, yeah.
Okay, here we go. So this would be Vulkarius's bit. Well, I'm stopping it now because there aren't any Thargoids. Tell us more about no Thargoids.
Well, I say that. Yes, you can go to the Pleiades. Systems around Merope, you can still get hyperdicted. There are still signal sources. California Nebula has AX conflict zones you can use. There are also reports around the coal sack that Thargoids are hyperdicting people there. Right. So, instead of anything to do with offing those octagonal offenders this week, I bring a nice little 3311 New Year game for the whole Studio 5 panel instead, and in the spirit of PWP. So the idea is, I attempt to pronounce a non-English Covas line, and the studio tries to work out the equivalent English Covas line. Yeah?
Okay.
So figuring out some translation will be a good start, but it's not necessarily what the English Kovas would say. So it'll need a bit of perspicacious flight experience as well.
So are you going to give this to us individually, or are we just calling out answers?
Well, I'll give you the first one. You can discuss and trying to get it. That's what I had in mind. So I've got 9 of them. Hopefully a good enough mix of easy, tricky, fun, interesting. And by all means, ask stuff about them if you want. You are allowed to know if you're getting close to the answer. And of course, the show chat is very welcome to come in with a bit of help as well. Okay.
Right.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah, yeah.
Assistance du vol activée.
Oh, some kind
Assistance
of...
what? Of
Duvo, activate something. Activate flight
flight assist
Yeah,
on.
it's got to be flight assistance on.
Yes, that's right. Flight assist on. Yes. Assistance du vol activée. Is flight assist on. That's a line from Amélie. So this one's kind of for the apology officer. Well, everyone. The second line. Schleichfahrt.
Say that again.
Schleichfahrt.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Yeah, probably.
That's it. That's the whole line. The sentence is Schleichfahrt.
Schleichfahrt. Is that slow down?
Dead meat in
Fart
chat
is to drive.
full stop.
Or driving.
Oh,
full stop,
fast,
full
yes.
stop.
It is. So it's not.
That's going to be handbrake applied then.
Slice fart, half speed.
It is to do with driving. In fact, the fahren is actually to
driving.
ride.
Yes.
But it's not to do with slowing. No.
Is that the handbrake? No, it's
No.
not that. Okay.
Is that driving assist on?
No.
No.
Is it drive, Thelma, drive?
Something drive. I don't know.
You need
Super
the word
Cruise Overdrive disengaged.
Is it all one
There's a
word?
line for that.
They
write it as one.
It's German. It's always all one word.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So yeah, in German it is, but it is one of those combo words. And the word, if you were to look up Schleich, which I don't mind translating if you want, it'll probably give it away.
Yeah.
Go on then.
So Schleich means sneak.
Right.
Oh,
Sneak driving.
Stealth
so you're
modes.
Silent running. Silent running.
Silent running.
The one.
Yeah,
Silent.
very good. Yeah, it's so Schleichfahrt, silent running.
Schleichfahrt.
It's one of Gerhard's
Oh, hang on a
lines,
second.
yeah.
Weren't you having quite a lot of Schleichfahrt the other day? Well, who was it we were in combat with that kept putting themselves in Schleichfahrt when we were doing the Thargoid combat?
Oh, yeah.
There was somebody who kept Schleichfarting when we were doing the Titan combat.
Yes.
It was not a bad plan if you need to get away.
Yes.
There was definitely a commander with us who was
for getting away. It
Schleichfarting.
was just. It wasn't for getting away. They just kept accidentally turning it on when they were doing bombing runs.
It was one of our. It was one of our ECM regulars, as I recall. Yes, kept Schleichfarting when they were doing Thargoid runs, which is why they kept dying. Yeah. Okay. So Schleichfarting. That's number 2. There we go.
That is true. You're going to call it that forevermore now. Okay. Number 3. Cargando motor de distortion.
Can you say that again, please?
Cargando motor de distortion.
Can you say it a little slower?
Cargando motor de distortion.
Now can you say it 10 times fast?
I'm not Commander Ascorbius, and it's not one of those streams, one of those explainers.
Is that charging? Cargando is charging.
It is.
So it's charging.
Is charging.
Yeah, it's
Distortion.
charging something.
Oh, charging
it's Spanish.
FSD.
Your Spanish accent's
Frameshift
awesome.
drive charging.
Charging
Frame shift
FSD.
Yes, yeah. I think that was litho. Yeah, frame shift drive charging. That's right. They call it an MDD or a motor de distortion or
distortion engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was interesting to put in.
I got Cargando, but that was it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Right. The fourth one. Analyse de l'astéroïde terminée.
Asteroid went boom.
No, it's the analysis.
Asteroid depleted.
Not depleted either.
Analysis.
It's analysis complete.
Analysis. Yeah. Analyse.
Did someone say that was a few too many at the same time?
Oh, analysis. Asteroid analysis of some sort. Complete or
Asteroid analysis complete.
One word off, yeah. It's the English Kovas. I'm sure Amelia knows what the English Kovas would say
Probably not.
when you use a prospector limpet.
Well, when you use a prospector limpet and
It
it's
says analysis complete.
Is it
says
Prospector Limpet destroyed?
No, it's asteroid scan complete is what it says.
Ah, damn it.
It's too many years since I did mining. I need to get back out there and make some holes in some rocks.
And that was from the Esperanto version. Yeah, okay.
That was French.
You also
That was
gotta
French
remember,
again.
I have Leo in my cockpit, so English is it's English, but it's not strong English.
So basically, it's what it says is, "Ooh, that's a bright one."
Well, should we do the next one just for the chat channel, and they have to shout it out?
That might be a little bit difficult, perhaps unless Inner Bushman's listening. Although, if Inner Bushman is listening and has an ear for butchered Slavic pronunciation, then I'm sure cringing in Polish might go. You can try the fifth one. Privilegietsu dron vermontnik.
Can you say that again, please?
Privilegietsu dron vermontnik.
Privilegietsu Brom.
Remotnik. So is that something to do with limpets?
Yes, it is.
Right.
Yes, so the drone part is literally drone, and it is to do with limpets. Privilegietsu dron remontnik.
Expired. How about limpet expired?
It's a specific type of limpet.
Privilegietsu repair limpet.
Yes.
Repair limpet expired.
Is the Privilegietsu Brit. So anything. What I found was anything beginning priv. It seems to have to do with arrivals or arriving.
Ah.
Okay.
So is that a repair drone launched?
Other way round.
Launched repair drone?
On the receiving end.
Ah! On the receiving end. Repair drone activated?
Yes, he says my hovercraft is full of eels. Yeah, I saw.
Okay.
It's you're really, really close. That's incoming repair limpet.
Oh, incoming repair limpet.
Specific line, yeah. It was a really interesting line, that one, because remont seems to be repair, and a remontnik is somebody who repairs. Or we would say repairman, but it's.
I had
like
remontnik done as remote. That's why I guess limpet.
The drone part is the limpet part.
Yeah, right. Well, one of Palantir's guess was my hovercraft is full of eels.
Yeah, that's pretty close as well.
That's Hungarian. That's in the Hungarian version.
Are we on 4 now or 5?
Yeah. That was 5. That was from Maxime.
That was 5.
Yeah,
Go on then.
It kind of means arriving drone repairman, kind of something like that.
Yeah.
All right, number 6. Sprung.
Launch.
So that's actually quite close. Not launched from a dock, but
launch fighter.
Are we back to German again with an
umlaut? It is. It's from Gerg. It is indeed from not with an umlaut, but it is Gerhard. And yeah,
well, that's just jumping. Spring. I think the word spring. Sprung and spring.
So that's a correct translation. The translation is jump. It does mean jump. The translation, but that's not what the English.
Sprung meaning a spring of some sort. Jump. Yes. Okay.
It is. You've translated it correctly. But the English Kovas doesn't say jump.
Oh right. Okay.
It's not launch.
Think about where it appears. Think about when it's said.
Jumping now. And no, I'm so used to the voice packs that I've got a million lines.
It's your FSC. It's 3, 2, 1.
Then
engage.
Engage. Yeah, WGF beat you to it by a few seconds, but that's correct. Chat has got it.
Engage. All right. Sprung
I know. It means jump. You're right. It's just that the English one says engage after.
So in the Star Trek, the translation of Star Trek, then when Picard points his finger at the screen and says "sprung,"
potentially. But yeah, the German one would be like "4, 3, 2, 1 sprung," as opposed to 4, 3, 2, 1 engage.
Okay, go on then. We've got one correct by the chat now.
We do indeed.
Yeah.
So it's number 7. Recogida di combustible.
That sounds like it's Italian to me. That without enough pasta and a pizza.
I
don't think there's an
Spanish to me.
It's Spanish, yeah. It's from Luciana.
Oh, it's Spanish. Oh, crikey. Scorchio.
Did you say it's from Luciano?
What was it again?
No,
Go on, do it again.
Recogida di combustible.
Combustible.
Asteroid went boom.
No, unfortunately not.
Combustible.
Something about bio-waste.
Not bio-waste, but it's good to focus on that word, definitely.
Composition. So this is an asteroid compositions of some sort.
No, not composition, compost.
Not. It was a B, not so combustible.
Oh, combustible. Right,
Yeah,
it's
boom.
gone boom. Well, you're on fire. You're overheating.
No.
No. Oh, combustible. No, combustible.
Is it
petrol.
to do with fuel
Petrol.
limpets?
Yeah.
It is to do with
Combustible
fuel. Yeah.
Yeah.
It is to do with fuel.
Fuel scooping gauge.
That's much. Fuel scooping. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Combustible. Yeah. Okay. Yep. Combustibles.
Yeah, it's just fuel scooping.
Fuel. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so a recogida di combustible will be like recovering fuel, but it's the English one's fuel scooping.
Palantir says, does it translate to we're in the shit? Or is it the eels are multiplying exponentially? Right, okay, no.
That
no
too.
and no.
That might happen when you get too close to a star,
Yes.
maybe. Okay, number 8. Schadenregistriert.
What?
Schadenregistriert.
Schadenfreude.
That's an interest. Now I want to know the etymology of the word Schadenfreude, but this one it's 2 words. It's Schadenregistriert.
So the
Registrate
first word
is
sounds German, and the
registering.
second one sounds
so
Yorkshire.
Yeah, Yorkshire, I was going to say.
Registrate.
Damage something.
Yes, so it is registered. It is registered, and Schaden is damage.
Damage
That's correct.
registered, yeah. Damage incoming or damage, yes.
Or in English,
Taking damage.
Yes,
Taking damage.
both
There we go.
Litho and Ramforth in the chat have both got the correct answer there.
I was going to say Righty Bird suggested the toilet has ejected.
Again, it's very, very apt. That it probably has happened a few times upon Schaden registriert.
Yes.
Okay. And the last one. Activation du drone de recherche terminée.
Oh,
Your French is getting as
collect
bad
a
as
drone
mine.
terminated. Collect a drone expired.
Activate self-destruct.
Collect a drone expired. I'm sure it must be.
Research limpet.
Asteroid went boom.
Yeah, so Litho got, so it is the research limpet.
Oh, research one.
Okay.
Yeah, so the drone de recherche is a research limpet. So that, and the full line that was Activation du drone de recherche terminée. This one you might have had to use a research limpet to know the actual line.
Yes, well, no, I haven't. No, I don't research things. I just shoot them or scoop them.
I used a research limpet once I think it was a research limpet. I used a limpet once on a Thargoid that was I got a message back that it was taking a biopsy, and that's when I knew it had gone wrong, because I thought, oh, that's going to upset it. And it did. And it chased me, and fuckers came out, and it was horrible.
If you're cold enough, it actually doesn't. You can get away with it.
I wasn't cold enough.
Yeah. You didn't do a
She warmed her hands first.
You would have needed to slash fart to be able to do that.
Oh, I slice farted all right.
Yeah, you meant to do it before, though.
But yeah, that was its research limpet successful. Which is twice as long in French. So.
A lot of things are.
Yeah,
right,
many of the converse lines do. Go.
I was going to say, so Mr. Dusty has been keeping score on that one. The scores are in. Flossy scored a grand total of -1. Vantean disqualified. The chat 2 brackets better than usual. Litho Breaker a whopping 100 points, and the apology officer scored 11.
11. How many?
The trophy goes to the apology officer.
He missed me.
Why does it go to me?
Missed one. I got who did I miss? I got Flossy. -1.
Amelia.
Yeah, -1.
You missed me out.
Well, yeah, you were also disqualified for having a French person sat next to you. Yes. Yeah, but the audience got 2. Well done, the audience. Congratulations.
I have no idea how they came up with that. Ramforth,
Ramforth is actually a Viking.
Ah.
Well, considering
well,
Littlebake have got 100 points and I get 11,
they
and
probably
I get
asked
the trophy.
They probably asked the Q. They probably asked
I
the
got
Q.
0.100. That's 0.100.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, Ramforth is an expert in warsailing and big horny helmets and bad Viking tropes. Being an actual Viking, and he can't reach me from here, so he can't throw things at me like hammers and other bad Viking tropes. Yes.
I think the answer to Ramforth's question is they probably asked the QI elves to do the score for them. That's how it became like that.
Oh, Mr. Dusty, I think, he moonlights as a QI elf. Which one of us is Alan Davis? I have no idea. But I know if I push my button, it does this. And
all
if
of
Flossy...
us are Alan Davis.
That's a good button.
Flossy's does this one. And I'm pretty sure Lithos says... Yes, there we go.
Yeah, but to be fair, yours does this.
Oh, I'm thirsty now.
I want to say that.
You see?
Have you got a seamless button there? Because that's my button.
Seamless.
There we go.
There it is.
Yep.
And I think the best one for the apology officer is probably...
I do like a klaxon.
You do like a good klaxon. Yes, right. Well, thank you, Vulkarius. It's time for your outro.
Yeah.
I think we've got one. I'm going to fade it again anyway. But what it would have said if there were Thargoids would be... There we go. Starting all the fights. Over to you.
Do we have a word of the week?
We do have a word of the week, and word of the week this week is bummock.
But bummock.
Bummock.
What does that mean?
It's a 19th century term for a huge amount of booze made for and consumed at Christmas party. It can also mean Christmas party thrown by landlords for their tenants, but these meanings aren't mutually exclusive.
Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Yes, I can. Cecil was so pissed at the bummock, he fell face first into Bubbly Jock, whose less than bubbly response cannot be broadcast.
And for those who are interested, the spelling and the meaning is coming across your screens in the form of a little ticker tape headline.
Let's even get it in the chat.
A huge amount of booze made for and consumed at a Christmas party. A bummock.
A bummock.
Neville was the Remote Hutton word of the week.
I do like a good bummock.
Like with any word in the English language, can you just sort of use that? I was totally bummocked last night. I was more sailed with an inch of my life. Yeah.
I think if you can use any word in the English language for it, yeah, you can use it. But I think, you were at a bummock or you drank the whole bummock. It's, yeah.
If you drunk the whole bummock, you'd be totally bummocked.
It's either a massive cargo or it's a party where you drink said massive cargo at Christmas. So, yeah.
Right, well, I would suggest we need to ask Ramforth on this one, because as I understand it, it is definitely a Scandinavian word.
Is it now?
Yes, meaning the belly of a jar or tub. There we go. So we'll have to ask our very own Viking to work out why bummock went from belly of a jar to being booze consumed at Christmas.
I suppose it might be...
To a belly full of jar.
Yeah, it might be a jar full of booze, so it could be. And remember, a lot of the Scottish islands up north are kind of a bit Scandinavian anyway. So, yeah,
and apparently, because there is actually, I understand there's another Hutton trucker heading somewhere cold, like sort of Antarctic direction at the moment. That's not the original one. I think there was a rumour that, but a bummock is also a smooth hill of ice that forms on the bottom of sea ice from eroding keels during the summer melt. Is also a bummock.
That's not the same kind of bummock, though.
Different bummocks.
So there's quite a lot of bummocks.
Yep.
That's a scientific bummock.
And also it means to reach a low level of performance and not get any better or worse.
Well, that'll be the booze.
Yes. Sounds like a British government.
Mm.
Yes. Right. It's ready for this bit.
Space facts, lots of space facts. What do you know that you need to know? Think from bottom straight to your brain.
Right. Well, this week we have taken our lead from the Royal Society Christmas lecture in the hopes of bringing a bit of class to Hutton News. So, What happens when you burp in space? On Earth, gravity pulls liquids and solids to the bottom of the digestive tract, while gases rise to the top. This allows gases to be forced up to collect in a little space at the top of your stomach called the fundus, and then out of your mouth when you burp. In space, there's no gravity to separate the liquids, solids and gases, so they all float around and mix together. And when you do try to burp in space, the gases try to escape and drag the solids and liquids along with them. This is often described as a wet burp. In effect, you're thrown up into your mouth every time you try to burp. For this reason, astronauts and cosmonauts keep their mouth closed when they space burp. Spaceflight missions avoid serving high flatulence foods like Brussels sprouts and cabbage to avoid flammable bum gas. Interestingly, because the crews don't burp as much, more gas travels through the digestive tract to emerge as farts in a tin can, where the air is recycled. Luckily, in microgravity, fluids shift towards the head and upper body, causing nasal congestion and facial swelling. This can make it harder to detect smells. Just as well, really.
Space facts, lots of space facts that what you know that you need to know. Think from Hutton straight to your brain.
There we go. We did have that one a few weeks ago, but it seems more appropriate the week after Christmas and New Year. All about.
No, we didn't have it. We've not had that before.
No, the idea occurred to us a few weeks back.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, but then we had to find an appropriate moment when we're all full of hot air, or mostly me.
We're all a bit bilious.
Bilious, yes. Any other words, Vulkarius?
Wait, bilious?
I was thinking more about being full of hot air.
Bilious has been a word of the week. Bilious does mean full of hot air.
Yeah. No. That means spiteful. That means bad-tempered.
It also means full of gas.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I suppose it means... Yeah, I had both of those meanings. That's true.
And full of hot air, obviously not meaning grandiloquent or rhodomontade styles of speech.
You wouldn't want to be rhodomontade, no.
Yes. Or you could be Gasconade.
Possibly. Yes.
Yeah. Or magniloquent.
Did you know digestive biscuits were meant as an anti-flatulent biscuit?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, they were meant to stop you farting.
And cornflakes were meant to stop you doing something else entirely, but we won't go there. Yes.
As Johnny Vegas pointed out in QI, did you put them under your mattress and they'd crunch whenever you tried anything?
Yes. Right, Flossy.
Yes.
We're just going to, because it is, I'm going to play it because, I'm going to play it. We're not going to do your intro and stuff because we don't need to because there weren't any. But we're going to play the tune anyway because we can. And yes, for the benefit of the listener.
We haven't done the happy birthday.
Oh, we haven't. We've got a number of them. There was yours.
Yeah. And it was mine, yes.
Yeah, and it's Claire's.
It's Commander Claire Helen.
And any others?
No. No more have come up on my Facebook feed.
Facebook saving you from the embarrassment of is it your birthday? So we've got who's got the music lined up? Yeah.
Me. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Claire.
Happy birthday, dear Claire. Happy birthday to you. And you smell like one too.
More.
Yes, and next week's word of the week is cacophony. Yes.
Is that when you have a week off from work?
Yes. A week off. Yeah.
Week off.
Happy birthday to Claire Helen and to the apology officer and everybody else whose birthday it was. We've had an incoming message from Commander Jackman, by the way, wishing everybody a happy New Year. It's just been beamed directly to my console. Happy New Year, Commander Jackman.
Happy New Year, Commander Jackman.
Woohoo! Right.
New Year.
So we're going to play the song because we can. And now the warning, as I was about to do before we did the other warning, is that last one was live. This one is performed by Mr. Dusty. Okay.
You see Jesus, what can I say? Flossy's got no task. no work, no play. The galaxy's calm, no goals in sight. Just sit back and relax, everything's alright. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CGs for you. No calls for trucks, no missions to bring. Not a single thing, not a single ping. The stars are quiet, the stations too. Guess it's time to chill, nothing's on cue. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CGs for you. No calls for trucks, no missions to bring. Not a single thing, not a single ping. The stars are quiet, the station is too. Guess it's time to chill, nothing's on cue. No hauling, no fighting, no tasks to do. Flossy's got no news, it's all up to you. So grab a mug of gin, or maybe two. This week is quiet, no CDs for you.
Ah, a bit mellow. That's what we needed after all the hectic couple of weeks. Something mellow. Yes, as we put it in the chat channel there, we have been auditioning for a proper live non-Mr. Dusty version of that music, and you'll be very glad to know that none of us are going to be singing it. We hope to have some progress on that sometime soon. Now, things that are also none of us. Beetlejude and Wotherspoon are taking a week off this week. So we haven't got any Beetlejude and Wotherspoon, so we thought we would insert something we haven't done for a while, which is one of Amelia's Galnet Rares Digest. Now, I've not pushed the buttons for a while, but Amelia, are you and Mooncake and Steve and everybody vaguely ready?
I think so. I'm not sure Steve was with us when we did this one.
No, I don't think he was. This is before you started subjecting.
This is before Steve, yeah.
Yes.
Because it has been a while.
I'm not
Are
so
you
sure this
sure
wasn't
he
a
wasn't the long
Palantir.
hook?
This might be a Palantir crafted one. I was trying
this
to work
is a
out.
pre-Mooncake, pre-Steve.
I can't work out whether this was me or Palantir that did this one, but we'll listen to it, and then Palantir can tell me whether it was him or me.
When we're going to listen to it, is it like the old recording, or do I have to say it now again?
No, I'm going to do the proper intro, the modern intro, and you can start with the word tonight. There we go. Here we go.
Okay, fair enough.
If the button works. If the button doesn't work because I've broken it, then we'll make it up as we go along. Here we go. I've got a button marked food. After Christmas, is that dangerous? You're just going to hear a detonation or something go off. Here we go. I'm going to mash the button.
You are about to listen to Amelia Hawke. She tries all the galaxy's most dangerous rare items, so you don't have to.
Tonight, we're going to be looking at one of the galaxy's rarest and most dangerous cooking ingredients. The Mookajing Beast Feast. Looking at the crate the Beast Feast is delivered in, we're in for quite the banquet. The first hint for the contents is the colourful packaging in orange and black stripes, emblazoned with the words, "Warning, they're great! Eat them before they eat you." And a picture of a rather vicious-looking tiger. You have to look carefully, though, as he's well camouflaged. Advertised as the galaxy's most dangerous cereal, this is about as far away as you can get from being made from toasted flakes or puffed rice, unless the flakes have really big teeth and the rice has a habit of dismembering you with each mouthful. Whatever possessed the designers of this cross between a bar snack, tapas serving, and meat-fortified breakfast snack to use the ingredients that they did, it boggles the mind. But the outcome is said to be one of the most exciting meat-sweat-inducing feasts in the galaxy. If you want to eat your way to the top of the food chain, then this is the food for you. Nolly Terminal in Mookajing occupies a system with both an Earth-like planet and a water world, and it was here that early settlers discovered that they shared their new living space with a range of creatures that appeared to want nothing more than to use them as a little bit of snack every now and again. A bit like Australia. With an abundance of prey creatures on the lush planets, the megafauna of the bitey and eaty variety have developed specializations in a biological arms race that have left them feared as some of the galaxy's most dangerous wildlife. Whether it's the Mookajing drop bear and its uncanny ability to unscrew the top of your head off while snacking on one of your ears, to the toothsome flying megadontoduck, which not only steals the bread from your hand, but takes everything up to your bicep with it. It is said that the reptile life on the planet makes Jurassic Park look like a trip to the local petting zoo, and deep-sea fishing is one of the most dangerous professions there is. You do it with a fusion-powered submarine, a high-yield warhead, and even then, the many-tentacled Mookajing Kraken will probably just laugh before dragging you to Davy Jones's locker. As humanity does when faced with adversity of this sort, the first thought was, can I eat it? Well, it turns out that you can, and unlike planet Earth, where predators make very poor eating indeed, most people preferring grass-fed, free-range, lab-grown burgers, the fauna on Mookajing is actually quite tasty. If you like the Ookajing chili-flavoured pork scratchings or those dodgy late-night kebabs that they sell outside the nightclub in O'Connor and Van Man and Star, usually after a bottle or three of the tonic wine made by the Mad Monks, then this is just the food for you. The ingredients on the box state that the feast is reinforced with 223 confirmed man-eating species. Too many to name here, but we're reassured that the vicious divorce cougar, giant 60-foot toothed tapeworm, it eats your intestines, but from the outside in instead of the inside out, and of course that old favourite, the mock panda, are all included. As for the taste, well, it's meaty. Very meaty. The umami flavors are strong, but it leaves anyone snacking on it with enormous sense of galactic superiority. Hackswinger said to chew on some Mookajing beast jerky before engaging the Thargoids in combat. They wouldn't be drawn as to whether any of the salvaged Thargoid hearts that accompany explosive green clouds after combat are included, but you can bet your bottom dollar that they're coming out with a new improved recipe sometime soon. Is it worth the cost? Well, judging by those vicious-looking Shih Tzu we saw prowling outside the compound here, I wouldn't want to head out hunting without being paid an awful lot of money. Definitely not vegan-friendly, though. I'm Amelia Hawke, and due to excessive meat sweats after my first Beast Bar snack sample, I'm going to go for a cold drink and a bit of a lie down. So just for the record, Mooncake jumped up on the counter while I was mid-reading at the beginning. Then she decided to go down and play with her toy, her new Christmas toys, which I don't know if you could hear it in the background.
So she's viciously attacking the wildlife on the planet, one of these 223 man-eating species, with a paw. Well, I mean, there are some interesting pictures. I mean, the megadonta duck that is in one of the pictures that's been going across the screen, that thing is rather toothsome and a little bit terrible. And meow, yes. Yeah, Mooncake is not scared by these carnivorous animals. Yes, Vulkarius, we do suspect that's Crichton, and that's a groinal attachment powering that fan. Thank you very much for spotting that one.
That was Righty Bird. I mentioned
Was
that,
it Righty
that guy
Bird?
right there.
Sorry.
Yeah, the guy he's got an iPad and those goggles. He's just gazing at the soup.
Yes. Oh, well, Amelia, there was a picture of you trying some of the mock panda soup. This is the carnivorous mock panda.
The carnivorous mock panda.
Yes, but you were trying in some soup there, and you've got the meat sweats in one of the images. We've got the megadonta duck.
I like the meat sweats image.
Yes, there's Mooncake sitting on top of a box full of tiger.
That's great.
Yep, completely unimpressed with a very small tiger.
I need to get an outfit like that.
Yep. That's a drop bear. It's a bit like a koala, but more vicious. And there seems to be, all sorts of dangerous-looking wildlife there. But yeah, this was pre-Steve, though Steve is in one of the images, if you look carefully, looking terrified as Mooncake escapes from his grasp in one of the shots. 223 man-eating speed. There he is. There's Steve down the bottom of the screen. Yes, as Mooncake playfully escapes from tyrannosaurs, and that's a very vicious-looking proboscis on that elephant as well.
Do you know how hard it is to get Megadonto duck out when you're first reading it for the first time after God knows how many years?
Megadonta duck.
Megadonta ducks, yes.
Because you read it and it doesn't compute in the brain.
But that was sort of the idea. In the stomach.
We have Commander Palantir has said apparently it was me that wrote that one, but he did the non-AI video. I'm not going to click on that in case he's rickrolling me, but on your own head beer if you do click that link from Commander Palantir. But it was a team effort, that one, I think, from back in the day. Right, I think slightly earlier than usual. That's just about it for this week.
Yeah, that's probably us.
Yeah. Now, Litho, are you around next week?
I believe so, yes.
I'm not. You're going to have to reprise your button mashing next week.
Yeah.
If it still works. You've not tried it since you rebuilt the computer?
I've tried the happy birthday button. That one works.
Oh, that one works. Okay. Also, Apology Officer.
Yes.
You did get a copy of the charter as well before we go.
Oh yes,
last week, because we had a few questions about the Apology Onion.
Yes.
Do you have any excerpts from it at all that you want to raise on behalf of the Apology Onion for this 3311 year? Any rules that we should or should not be following, or punishments? No.
No.
No, that's fine.
No,
very unapologetically.
Yes.
No.
No Comic Sans MS.
Yeah, no Comic Sans in apologies. Okay.
Yes,
that's understood.
That's about the only one I can remember.
Oh, right. Okay, and obviously any infringements they'll be sent to the naughty step, I'd imagine, is the usual side of things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yes, you do, and you have a crest now as well. We may have to feature that in a future week. A heraldic crest, especially for the Apology Onion. Yes.
Is it heraldic? I can't remember. Has it got a motto underneath it?
Yep.
Good.
It has got special symbols on that. I can't remember the official heraldic terms. We may have to look up, what the proper terms are for these things. But that hand signal is unequivocal in its meaning.
Yes.
Yeah. As is the tier. Right. Now, what is normal? Now we have some special credits this week, being the first one of 3311 and After Christmas, which I think Litho you programmed in, possibly.
Yes, probably.
Possibly. Now,
in theory?
do we have a preference on which version of the tunes we're going to play? for the exit, or are we just going to hit the randomizer?
The jolly one.
The jolly one?
The original.
Oh, the original. Okay, well, let me just I've got to get under the desk and hardwire this. So let's have a look. I might have to do it. Is it this one? No, it's not that one. So while we're doing that, are we going to go raid somebody? There's a few of us need to drop in on a bit of a New Year 3311 present for somebody. So do we have any streamers live, particularly ones that need a couple of extra at the moment, doing anything interesting? That's it. Don't all talk at once while I'm doing this difficult thing in the background here. It is.
You've only got one button to push.
No, I was trying to change the thing. Yes.
Oh, right.
There we go. I've changed the thing, so I've got that bit ready.
You're determined to stretch this out to 10 o'clock, aren't you?
Let's have a look. So, you need to hang around for the credits, and then after the credits, we're going to go and drop in on somebody. Don't forget to give them a hearty for the mug and a happy 33 what's it. Let's have a look. What we got? We've got engaging friendship drive. Look, there's somebody engaging their friendship drive. That's a good one.
It's always a good sign.
Yeah, always a good sign. They need some more viewers. And they've got a mug in that. Have they got a mug in their hand? They might. I can see on the picture here. Right, so we're going to go and raid Ian D live at the end of this one. Amelia, are you quiet or noisy this evening?
I am going to be normal. I can't shout because Mooncake goes nuts when I do.
Okay, well, you're going to be normal. All right, well, perfectly normally then, it's time for the end of the show.
For the mug!
For the mug!
For the mug!
For the mug!
Cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. Loading up the T-Nights to the brim with rail. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Flossy always seems to crash into the sun. Swivel likes the pilot on the Xbox One. Alvin at the front, you know he leads us well. Trucking across the galaxy, now everybody yell. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. Give me a launch pad that I can land on, and I'll give you my cargo and sing you my song. North Part 22 light years to go. Cruising to Hutton, whoa, whoa, whoa. No journey too long and no cargo too small. The profit margins never really mattered at all. We're gonna take the cargo where it's needed today. Super cruising all across the Milky Way. We'll take anything, anytime, anywhere. So shout it out loud like you don't even care. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song. For the mug, yeah, you know just where we're coming from. For the mug, now everybody sing the Hutton Trucker song.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of the show. Everyone's buggered off now, so why don't you bugger off too?